This one is called 16 Men. Sounds horrifying already. Grace and I were alone in the house, sleeping in adjoining bedrooms. We had spent the evening at home, had 2 glasses of wine apiece with dinner, and had taken nothing alcoholic since then. Grace got up at 2:15 a.m. for an extra blanket and happened to look out the window. There were several people outside. Dude, this is messing me up already. I don't like this. I'm just picturing a group of ghosts. When the heck are there a group of ghosts? I've never heard anything like this. Oh my gosh, I don't like this. She came into my room and woke me up. This incident occurred in 1977. The 70s are haunted. On the Friday before Halloween. Ooh. Marcia Hart, who now lives on Nantucket, was then a student at Brown University. Haunted. She had come to the island for the weekend to visit her friend Grace Patterson. It was Grace's first winter on Nantucket, and she was renting a new house on the outskirts of town. The 2 young women had become friends during a summer of waitressing together. Marcia continued. As a reminder, this is all quotes. This is the person who lived the ghost story telling this to the author. So this is like through her words. We left the lights out and stood by the window in Grace's bedroom. It was below freezing, and there was a plenty of starlight, but it was below freezing, and there was plenty of starlight, but no moon. The backyard had no grass or trees, for it had only recently been cleared. It consisted of about 50 square yards of mounded dirt and sand, which ended at the back of the chicken box bar. On the left was an unpaved parking lot, and on the right, a new house, sure enough about 10 feet from the back of the bar. I could see 6 men in white pants. Their shirts were dark, and there was not enough light to see their faces clearly. They didn't appear to be wearing bulky winter clothing. They were lifting and tugging a large, heavy object about the size and shape of a shipping crate or of a refrigerator laid on its side. Occasionally, one or another of them would straighten up and stop for a rest. There was no wind, and while we could hear low voices, we couldn't make out any words. Now and then we could hear the scrabble of loose pebbles as a boot scraped on the frozen ground. This is crazy. Oh, this is a short one. I called the police. Soon we could hear the patrol car coming, and as the headlights swept across the yard, the men got down on all fours and rolled into the deep, irregular troughs between the heaps of dirt. What? This is weird. This is crazy, because if these are ghosts, they're like hiding from people. Normally ghosts just disappear when lights come or someone looks. Maybe this is just a bunch of naughty boys. 2 patrolmen climbed out and, standing next to their car, beamed their flashlights back and forth. Nothing to be seen. The rear of the building was thrown into shadow by the headlights, and the large object the men had been trying to move was not visible. It was a bitterly cold night, so without having left the side of their car, after a quick look around, the patrolman climbed back in and drove away. We saw the men crawl up out of the ditches as the taillights disappeared down the street. Dude, this is crazy. I say that about every story. We saw the men crawl up out of the ditches as the taillights disappeared down the street. They went on with their work as more of them appeared from the front side of the building. Soon a dozen men were taking turns at moving the large rectangular object. What the heck is going on? 4 men were hoisted up onto the roof of the building. We could see the first one, and then another crouching in silhouette on the ridge, apparently talking to the men below. A figure was sitting in the driver's seat of my Volkswagen Bug, which I had left unlocked. He was bobbing up and down as if he were working on something down near the floor. This is creeping me out. Feet crossed and recrossed the line of light under the back door of the bar. Okay. It seemed that the men had gotten inside the building. Several hours went by as we pointed out different figures to each other and tried to keep track of how many there were. The men moved lightly without rapid animated motions, and none of them looked very tall. We were tense and careful not to let them see us. I remembered feeling strangely lucid. This is crazy. This is crazy. What are they seeing? Looking back, I'm puzzled and surprised and troubled that we didn't immediately call the police again. After all, we were sitting by, glued to the window, whispering to each other while we watched a bunch of men robbing a bar. That's not exactly a normal reaction, and not the kind of thing either of us would do. It makes me wonder if those men had some sort of numbing effect on us. I suppose we were waiting until the sky lightened and we could see what the men were doing. Although that now seems like an inadequate explanation. Shortly after 4:30, we counted 16 men behind the chicken box. The large object had been moved approximately 20 feet along the back of the building. The figures seemed to be taking turns at different activities. Some climbed up on the roof and others moved this object. Still, others just walked back and forth. We watched until dawn. As the sky began to lighten, it became apparent to us both that the figures were fading. They continued with their activities, but were becoming increasingly difficult to see. Holy crap, they're seeing into another dimension. They're seeing, their eyeballs are time traveling. They are seeing something that happened in the past, replaying, because the universe is playing dang haunted tricks on their faces. Wow. As the sky began to lighten, it became apparent that both of them were fading. They continued their activities, becoming increasingly difficult to see. We were appalled. I felt suddenly nauseous, and Grace was just saying, "Oh my God, this is ridiculous," over and over. By the time the first real flush of pink hit the sky, the yard was empty. Neither Marcia nor Grace had ever seen the apparition of or ghost before that night, nor have they since. Marcia's car battery was dead. The following morning, what was that dude doing? Her car is haunted. Holy crap, my car is haunted too, because it's from 1972. All these stories take place in 1972. Proven. But that was the only possible physical trace that the men had left behind. The rectangular object they had been struggling with had disappeared with them. Oh my God. Of course, listen to this next name. Nathaniel Benchley. Why are there so many Nathans in this book? Nathaniel Benchley, on hearing the story, remarked that the area was reputed to have been a connection point from rum runners during Prohibition. Oh. The Chicken Box, a one-story frame building, was built in the 1950s and is now a popular bar that stays open all year. Dude, that's a good story. That's called 16 Men from Nantucket Ghosts. Wow. I liked that one. That was awesome.